Okay, moving on. Big announcement to be made on the show. And I don't usually say that because we don't usually have big announcements. We have them rarely. And this announcement, I believe, will be shocking. It will be stunning. And I'm not a shock value comedian. That's not what we do. But this will be genuinely paradigm shifting. It will move people genuinely, I believe. And because it is so unexpected, there was never a hint. You know, a lot of the things that happen here, there's some foreshadowing elements, but not this. This is out of the blue, as they say. It's coming out of the blue. Mm-hmm. It is completely, utterly without any preconceived. This is just happening organically. It's shaken me to my core, the announcement I'm about to make, because I understand how big of a deal it's going to be to people and how much it's going to throw them off. And I want to do it with care, and I want to prepare them, and I want to take the utmost care and caution with an announcement of this gravity, because there's gravity here. This is real. It's hard to even say. It's hard to vocalize. It's hard to get out of my mouth. It's hard to... Ben, why are you laughing? I don't know. Why are you laughing? What's funny about this?
I don't know.
5 months ago, Ben's wife told us she was having an affair with Joe Rogan. It was uncomfortable. We respect and love Joe. He's incredibly generous. Nobody has done more for comics than Joe. No one. But even that being the case, it was still tough to hear that Ben's fiance, his wife, was having sex with Joe, who had been so good to both of us. It put us in a very difficult position. His wife then informed us that she was going to keep the affair going. And in order to do that, we needed to move to Austin, Texas, so she could continue to have sex with Joe. Ben, being a good husband, dutifully agreed, and he came to me and he said, Katie wants to keep having sex with Joe Rogan. Do you think we should move to Austin to make it easier for her so that she doesn't have to keep flying? And I agreed. I said yes. So Ben's wife has been carrying on an affair with Joe. Even the morning of their nuptials. They got married, but in the morning of that day, she was having sexual congress with Joe Rogan. And she told Ben that at the wedding in front of a few of us. She had a few drinks. And she said, I just want you to know I fucked Joe this morning. Now, something happened. There was a disagreement. I don't know what happened. We're not privy to that information, and I don't want to speculate. But Ben's wife has ceased her affair with Joe. She has stopped. She is no longer having an affair with Joe. Yes. She's back to sleeping with Ben. Mm-hmm. Now, it is awkward living in Austin, Texas. So, the announcement is as follows. Because of Ben's wife and only Ben's wife, it is time to leave Austin, Texas. The Tim Dillon Show will be leaving Austin, Texas. In all seriousness, because what I was just saying was a joke, I hope, for your sake. It is a joke, right?
I think so, yeah.
In all seriousness, we came down here because the quarantine had warped everybody's minds. I had moved from LA to Palm Springs. I spent a lot of time in the desert alone in 120-degree weather. And then I went on the road a lot, too, and I did a lot of stand-up, did comedy during the craziest period in the history of this country, maybe, to do comedy. During a pandemic with the most contentious presidential election, I did comedy the night Donald Trump was put into the hospital with COVID. I mean, this was fucking wild. Those shows were wild doing them. And we did them. We did them to go out and to make money, to see fans, to do it as carefully as we could, to keep ourselves mentally healthy and keep people mentally healthy and keep people working that worked at comedy clubs. And we did them distance and we did them outdoors and we did them. And then Joe, who we love and respect, said, I'm moving to Texas. And it came at a time when LA was particularly bleak and nothing was open. And I had never loved Austin. I had gone here and I've done South by Southwest. I've done the Moon Tower Comedy Festival. But Austin to me always felt like Brooklyn. It was fun, but it was, a lot of hipsters and the food was good. A little one note. It's barbecue. We get it. Great Mexican food as well. But it was a college town. It was a small city. This was not a world-class city. It just was not. And I hadn't been here for a while, and I didn't know. And I moved here because I felt like I needed something new and that something new would be good. And yes, the taxes are better. And yes, there are benefits to not being in LA. And yes, LA has a host of problems. But I moved here because first and foremost, I said, something new will be good. I was wrong. The city of Austin, Texas is a city in the realm of the artistic or whatever for people who have left New York or LA or never had the guts to go to New York or LA. It's for people they've never figured out a way to make their art or whatever commercially viable, and they should have a city. Those people should have a place to get drunk at 2 a.m., to get high, to eat brisket. They should have it. It's their culture. Do not force them to be productive members of society. It shouldn't happen. That's the culture of Austin, of the slacker, the ne'er-do-well. Always has been, always will be. A few exceptions, Mike Judge, Richard Linklater, but the vast majority of Austin, quite proudly, is a culture of not making it, not doing it, for whatever reason. So when Joe wants to create a comedy hub here, God bless him, but he's fighting against a current. And cultures matter, and this culture has been around for a very long time. And I have no interest in colonizing a city and making people, making it into a great comedy city. I don't care. The tech people are moving here. They'll have 3D printed brisket. They'll have, the house values will go up. I bought a home here. I'll rent it or I'll keep it. And I'm not worried about that. I think it's a great real estate move. I'm speaking solely about comedy and me and this show. It is not the move. Austin has many of the problems of Los Angeles. A lot of the homeless people. There was a mass shooting last night. 13 people got injured. Not shot, not killed. Of course not. Even the mass shooters in Austin can't get it done. And the cops didn't even find the guy. He's running around here.
On the loose, yeah.
He's on the loose. We got a mass shooter on the loose. It could be any one of our friends. We should call the tip line and just read off my Instagram, the people I'm following. But we love Joe. We respect him. When Joe has a club, I'll come back here and work at that club and be excited to do so. But I just could not get in a groove with this city. I tried. Not really. But I gave it some effort. I gave it, I've been downtown 4 or 5 times. That's enough.
That's enough.
The first time I went down there, homeless people were throwing bottles at us as we walked out of the creek in the cave. People are being killed at night. The homeless are just going up and murdering comedians. And I don't even know, am I against that? I'm put in this weird position of having to care about a city that I've never cared about. And I can in good conscience do that. I only want to be funny. I only want to really affect people with what we do. I don't give a fuck about Austin. I love Texas. I love the areas around Austin are beautiful. I like Dallas and Houston and Fort Worth, and the audiences are great. But I don't care what happens to the comedy community of Austin, Texas. I don't care. It has been forever a community of sloth-like people. Truly, slugs. And they should have it. It should be for them. Joe Rogan can walk around here and ask people, be like, hey, why don't you write more? Shouldn't you work out? It's not going to work because they're losers to the bone. These people are losers to the fucking bone. The stench of human failure in this city is so that you cannot breathe. You cannot inhale oxygen because the stench of human failure infects all of the air. It is a grotesquerie here. They do not know how to run a city. The food is shit. There's 2 places that make good barbecue, and they're not Terry Black's. It's Franklin and La Barbecue, and it's 9 hours line to a blue-haired, tattooed lesbian can give you an attitude when you say, can I add a sandwich to that? People come here to get married, like this fool. Because it's cheap and you can get married in some raft. You could float down a dirty river and get Down syndrome drunk and take photos to put on your Facebook. He did have a beautiful wedding. But the point is this. My point still stands. This is the bachelorette capital of the South. It's drunk pig women and men that have an itchy trigger finger just trying to shoot people, dancing around 6th Street drunk. These people are out of their fucking minds. It's a fucking rodeo of fat bitches and school shooters. Everybody eating at the trough. It has nothing to do with music. Can we say that now? Can you hear it loud and clear? This town has nothing to do with music. There are heroin addicts that occasionally do melodious things on the street. After they take a shit in the street, they play, I don't know, You Are My Sunshine or something. You make me happy when skies are gray. It's nothing. It's less than nothing here. There is no seafood. There is no fish. There is one sushi restaurant that Joe Rogan mentioned, and now you can't get in until 2027. Sandra Bullock and Matthew McConaughey, I don't give a fuck. I don't care that a couple of white demon celebrities live here. Shut your white mouth. What's funny about that is that I've been very critical of the critical race theory, and yet I find in times it is important to have in the pocket. This is what it is. I tried. I played pickleball with a few psychopaths. We met a few tech people. We met a few people who, when you looked in their eyes, you realized that trouble was brewing. We met some of the masters of the universe, not the bankers, some of the, Silicon Valley cultists who are colonizing the area, who are here because of no state income tax and their love of baked beans. Some of the libertarian wing of the tech movement. Some lovely people, maybe not too bad. Don't hate any of them. I like being afraid for my life during the afternoon. I like that. I don't think facial expressions are necessary. I like people that keep you on your toes. But it's time to go. And I don't want to discourage anyone else from moving here. It may be your destiny to come here. Many of you will be happier floating down a river, which, by the way, I tried to go to the swimming hole. You have to make a reservation for the swimming hole. You can't even jump in the fucking lake without a reservation, or the creek, or the crick, whatever you call it. I've had about enough. I can't work on Caitlyn Jenner's campaign long distance. I have to be there. I gave it 4 months, and I'm not going anywhere immediately. The summer I'm touring, and then in the fall I start to look, and who knows where we end up next. Maybe we end up in Dorado, Puerto Rico with the Pauls and Peter Schiff. Here's to hoping. But it's time to go. There was a mass shooting last night. 13 people were injured outside the Vulcan Gas Company, the venue of the moment. It's time to go. I love Joe. Joe's been more generous to comics. He's done so much for us. We don't deserve it. He deserves happiness. Go and be happy. And if he opens a club, I will come down here and work it and be thrilled to do so. But right now, it is time to go. This has been a fun experiment. The quarantine has been very interesting. I've made and lost friends. I've made bad decisions. I've made good decisions. We've all done wild things. We've put ourselves into situations we never thought we'd be in. And we've taken ourselves out of situations we never thought we would get out of. Our minds melted. We, kind of went through the looking glass. It was an acid trip without having to take the acid. And it was not a good one. It was a bad one. It was good for us. It was good for certain people, But the reality is that is over now. And for some people, it'll never be over. They'll keep the masks on. Whatever. Let them do it. Fine. It's fine. But it is now time to leave. And it's going to be a little tough for Ben. Ben will fly and do the show every week. And you'll have to really kind of talk to your wife because it's going to be difficult. But we've suggested gaslighting her into making her believe she made us move here. That's an option. You haven't told her yet.
No, I will before we put this out.
You have not told her.
I have not told her
anything.
No, not yet. I told you you're renting your house out that you bought, but that's it.
Did she ask why?
I just said that you were going to make money on the income from the thing and be cash positive.
Did she say where would he live?
I said he was just thinking about extending his rental here.
So you lied.
Yeah.
So you made it. You made something up.
So far, we're lying. We're in the lying stage.
What does she want to do? Go downtown and get a bottle thrown at her head? Is that what she wants to do? Does she want to go play the accordion downtown and get raped with a glass bottle to her neck? It's chaos down there. It's utter hell and chaos.
Really bad.
It's chaos down there. Okay? It's a horror.
Yeah.
LA's big enough. Austin's not that big. Austin's like 7 square blocks, and 2 of them are hell. 2 of them are Fallujah. It's crazy. So what? So to do what? So you can eat it fucking, Miss Vicky's brisket house. Who gives a fuck? Can we get the fuck out of here, please? Can we get the fuck? What the fuck were we thinking? Can we get the fuck out of here, please? Do I want pickles and onions with it? No, give me a ticket. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Get the tattoo off your neck, white demon. I've had enough of white homeless kids. I'm out. We're out of here. Burn it to the ground. Sorry. The truth hurts, as Lizzo has said. There's parts of it that are nice. There's parts of it that are beautiful. Not the city, the outskirts. And those will be the parts that get nice. It's a Marin County thing here. They let San Francisco go to shit, and the surrounding area went skyrocketing. That's what's going to happen here. That's what I believe. But I believe comedically, artistically, for me, for you, for this show, for the future of what we have to do, this city has tested me. It really has. I don't get it. I don't get the charm here. I don't get what everybody else gets. I don't get what's fun about 5 fat, drunk bitches from Nashville on 6th Street, drunk and falling down, shoving, and then getting in a tub of macaroni and cheese. I don't get it. Look at the band. You want to hear the band? Not good. We've covered it all. We did the tech shit. We had lunch with a few people. We did a few shows. They were decent. They were fine. It's time to get out. I don't even want to do Moon Tower, which they didn't ask me to do. I don't want to do any of it. South by. I want out of this town for a long time. For a goddamn long time here. I want out of this town. And I may rent the house, may just keep it. It's fine. It's a beautiful little thing to have. It's not that expensive. It's not. I didn't go nuts and buy a crazy thing. So it's all going to work out. But I mean, we do have to tell your wife, and then I'll have to give you guys a bunch of money, which I have no problem doing. But it's unfortunate. What do you feel about this? Be very honest here, because you got excited to come back to Texas, and it started worrying me because you and your wife started going to see fiddle players, and you're like, oh, you should come see the fiddle player with us. And I got very nervous because I said, this is everything you left to not be. Somebody, some guy sitting in a field listening to a fiddle player.
I don't like the golf courses here. I don't like the food.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
You don't like the golf here.
Not at all.
What is the problem with it?
I don't like link style courses.
Right.
I like a Nicholas designed course in LA somewhere.
Right. Shut up. You don't know who cares. But it's important. It's important that there are things you also don't like. The food's trash.
It's not good.
It's trash.
Yeah.
The people. It's like if every witch from a Disney movie got fat. It's like what happens to Maleficent if she starts a podcast and eats 14 sandwiches a day and dyes her hair blue. She lives in Austin. Fat people should at least be talented and light on their feet. Jackie Gleason, yours truly, not these lumbering, soulless fucking vessels just barking at people. That's ableist. They got to go. And I wish everyone the best here. I do. I wish everyone the best. I cannot stress that enough because as somebody who's invested in Austin real estate, it is a great place to live. And that's what people forget is that it is a great city. It's a great American city. And I have a lot of hope for the future of Austin. And I love it here. And to leave kills me because the food is great, as we've talked about. And the people are great. And I like it. You know what I mean?
It's not that bad, yeah.
No, not at all. So if you're thinking of coming here and renting or buying, it's the place. It's the move. Because what I like about it is you have a good balance of nature and then also a thriving, vibrant metropolis. When you go to Austin, there's always something to do. Get followed by a homeless guy on the way to go get a taco from a Dodge Durango that's parked because everybody eats food here out of a truck. You could do that. You could catch a stray bullet on 6th Street while walking back to your Uber that doesn't show up. And if it does, we'll kidnap you. there's a lot of benefits to this city. Okay? So I don't want to scare anyone away from it. I have to be, but this is a big announcement. It's a big It's a big deal. The fact that we're moving to Dorado with Peter Schiff and the Pauls. No, we're not. We're not going to Dorado. We're going and we're staying. The next place we go, which is it's California, we're staying. We're going to Los Angeles. We're staying. We're going to stick it out. It is what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, we really tried here. I tried. People said it was going to last 4 months, and it lasted about 4 months. And I'm not leaving immediately. I'm on tour. I'm on the road, and I've got things to do. Okay, IRS, I'm here this year. I'm here this year. But next year, you know, and the fall, you know, it's like, it's tough. And I know that you and your wife are happy here because the dogs have a yard. They're going to have a yard in Los Angeles, too. The dogs are disgusting. I mean, one of them has 3 legs. And none of it matters. So it's all good. I know it's going to be a tough discussion to have. Are you nervous about it?
No. Katie's ride or die.
I understand that.
Yeah.
And she was riding Joe. Is there a way we need to gaslight her into thinking that she made us move here because she has a crush on Joe? But we need to leave. There's nothing else to be said about it. I'm not performing at your bachelorette party.
No.
I'm not doing that.
No.
I don't care about your wedding. Ugh. It's a college town, like without that many college kids.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I just have to go. Sorry. I apologize. You know, at the end of the day, I wish nothing but the best for the people that live here. I hope that it's only a flesh wound. That's what I'll say. But it's not for me. I must go now. I must go back to an underprivileged area called Beverly Hills, where people are real and they struggle. You understand? Where people have real jobs. Like, I'm a sex slave / assassin / PA on Blackish. Real jobs, real people, real America. I'm not excited to go back to California. There's a whole host of issues there, which Caitlyn Jenner will hopefully cure. But it's time to go. It's time to leave Austin, Texas. The faces of the people. The faces of the people. The insects that crawl. God bless people trying to make this into something. God, I mean, picture someone you know who's been a disaster their entire life. Drunk, drug addict, in and out of rehab, thief. Just the worst person. Maybe not horrible soul, but just steps on rakes their entire life. Can't seem to get it going. And then imagine the winner, the most productive person you know. The most productive human being you've ever met. Wins every game. Gets the hot chick, gets the money, is a nice person, genuinely deserves it, is generous. That person that you know, the winner, the alpha, the winner, now is bringing the fat drug addict thief out and going, this is the goal. This is the goal. And you're going, but they're a fat drug addict thief, who I'm pretty sure looks up things on the dark web, and the winner goes, no. They're good. They're a much better quality of person. And you go, oh, I don't think so. And the person is screaming as the winner goes, no, this person is good. The person is screaming, no, I'm a fat mess. I like it. I don't like good. I hate good. I never want to be good. Food. Falls down on the floor, starts pissing themselves. Heroin, just shooting heroin in their fat arm, And then the winner is like, that's pretty cool. And you go, what? Go, no, that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool. We wish everyone the best. We wish everyone the best here. And I'm just hoping that it's made me realize a lot of things living here. And culture really matters. The culture of a city matters. Miami's a party. Never turn Miami in anything that's not a party. How dare you? New Orleans is also a fun party. Why ever turn that in? New York is a hectic race to nothing. Leave it be that. Let it be this hectic, frenetic pace to eventual, death. But they like that. It's necessary. It sharpens people. It molds them into something. 10 of them. The rest of them, who cares? But LA is a den of sociopaths, narcissists. People that it's fake on a level that's so fake it's real. You're just talking to human volcanoes as they stuff avocado toast down their genetically engineered throats into their plastic bodies, and then they go vomit it up. It's important. Just like New York is important. Just like Miami is important. Just like Austin being the den of failures is important. Being a place for losers. A place for those fat bachelorettes to feel like they're going to the big city. Big mama's in the city now. She's got her brisket, and she's going to take a shot of SoCo Lime, and then they're going to play her song, which is Up by Cardi B, and she's just going to be like, and her brain, her useless brain is just going to bounce around in her head, and she's going to go, and just this mass of flesh, this total waste of resources, just gyrating like a pig in the middle of the street while all her friends look at her and go, I can't believe she's getting married. This thing is getting married, and she's going to gyrate in the street because this is her 3 days to get really fucked up before she has to go back to checking elderly people in for their hysterectomies. And she's just like, and it's up, 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 and then some mass shooter is going to come out. And he's going to see this person going, and this mass shooter's going to look at her and go, this mass shooter's going to say, I'm sorry, Joe Rogan. I'm sorry, comedy. I've got a bit too. And he's going to fire wildly into the crowd. Like a monster. Not good. Not condoning this. And he's going to hit this fatty, and it will barely stop her. She'll feel it, and she'll get a little up, and it's up, and it's up. And then her friends will have to go, you've been shot. And then they put her on the gurney. And then they bring her to the hospital, and then they extract this piece of metal out of her fucking pulled pork filled flesh. They extract this bullet from her, and she's like, ugh. And then her fiance calls her and goes, I love you. Are you okay? And she goes, I am okay. I love you. And then she's got a story for the rest of her life. And then she goes on a little bit of workman's comp, little disability, can't go back to work. And then she goes back in a few years to that place in Austin. She goes back there to see where a guy shot her in the leg while she was gyrating to a Cardi B's Up, which they won't play anymore. This will be years later. She'll have two fat jalapeno popper-sized children and her husband who tries to drink himself into a grave every night and sometimes damn near succeeds. And they'll get out of whatever Uber or which vehicle Austin permits at that time, and they'll get out and she'll go, that's where mommy got shot. And they'll take a photo where she got shot. They'll take a photo where that bullet ripped through her fucking flesh, and she'll make it her profile picture, and she'll have some quote. She'll have some quote about that, how life is about appreciating the little things. And she won't be a her quote because she's fucking retarded. So she'll take it off some Lifetime movie of the week or some magnet she saw at a friend's home where she was getting juiced before her kids got home from school. And she'll put that quote up, and there'll be a photo of where mommy got shot. spot on 6th Street. And that is all this fucking city will ever be. Burn.